We can't control what happened yesterday. We can't control what happened last week. We can't control or do anything what happened in the last hour. And so many of us, we hold on to things that we can't control. And that becomes a weight on our soul. It becomes worry. It becomes stress. It becomes anxiety. It becomes fear. And the majority of people in this world are living in that state of less, that state of lack, that state of limitations. So it's so important every single day that you wake up and you really understand what every new day brings, which is a new beginning. So as people come on here, if you're watching this on replay, you can skip this part. But if you would like a signed copy of my new book, just type peace and I'll send you a link in your inbox. If you haven't got the new book, Protect Your Peace, it's the #1 book in the world when it comes to helping you protect your energy, your mind, your soul. Over 100,000 copies have been sold already. But I really want you to get to a place right now where if you're driving, obviously keep your eyes on the road. If you can be at a place where you can relax, if you can be at a place where you can just de-stress, and as your mind runs, let your mind do what your mind is supposed to do. You're supposed to have thoughts, but don't hold on to those thoughts, because the thoughts we hold on to become heavy in our life. As you feel your breath, with the inhale, you feel the rise of your chest. The exhale through your belly, and fully exhale. When we do our meditation, I'm going to give you counts of 4, 8, and 4. So when I tell you to inhale for 4 seconds, I want you to inhale full because you're full of life. And as you inhale, I want you to imagine and visualize you inhaling what you need. If it's peace, if it's strength, if it's courage, you picture yourself inhaling that. We're going to hold that breath to let that peace or whatever it is that you need penetrate your body. Picture it going from your toes to your head, filling up your body. And as you release on that count of 4, I want you to release and exhale fully. And on the release, I want you to imagine you releasing what you don't need, that thing that's holding you back, that thing that's causing more stress in your life. Like I said, maybe it's worry, maybe it's stress. Before we get to our breath work, our release meditation, right now, I want you to realize that as this sun is rising, today's a new beginning. And as I always tell you, you're a choice away from a new beginning. You're a commitment away from a new life. A choice away. Right now in this moment, you can choose the life that you want to live. You can choose what today means to you. You can choose that how you're going to show up. You can choose to let your life be guided by peace. It's your choice. And you're a commitment away from a new life. You're a choice away from a new beginning, a choice away from healing, a choice away. And you're a commitment away from a new life. What I want you to do right now is I want you to give yourself one of the greatest medicines to your soul, which is appreciation and gratitude. What can you be thankful for? Maybe you write in the chat. Maybe you say it out loud. What's something you could be grateful for, thankful for right now? A lot of us, we're so good at focusing on what we don't have. We're so good at focusing on what's going wrong because our human brain wants to always protect us and wants to always solve problems. We're so good at focusing on everything that doesn't help our life. But I've learned when we focus so much on what we don't have, we become blind and we miss out on the true beauty of what we do have. So right now, I want you to massively focus on appreciation and gratitude. What's something you can be thankful for today? Maybe it's this live. Maybe it's the roof over your head. Maybe it's the breath in your body. Maybe it's having health. I know those things seem simple, but it's crazy is that when we lose the simple things, it's the simple things that we realize mean so much to our life. Maybe you're grateful for your kids, grateful for your wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, grateful for your job, Grateful for just the moment. Grateful for the new beginning. There's a statistic that I've shared plenty of times that a lot of people don't realize just how blessed you are to see today. Over 150,000 people die every single day. That means over 150,000 people in the world didn't wake up to see today, but you did. So that alone should move you into gratefulness, should move you into appreciation. I'm going to give you a few seconds to focus on appreciation. And when we do this, I call in the book a disruptor. When you're having negative thoughts or a negative flow, you can stop the flow with appreciation and gratitude, and you can change your focus. Because what you focus on is what you feel. What you feel influences what you do. What you do produces the life that you get. The results that you get, and the results that you get produces the life that you live. So simply, if we can guard our focus, we can ultimately change our life. So as we go through this meditation, I don't want you to judge yourself. I don't want you to be hard on yourself, and just know your soul knows what you need. If you can relax in a quiet place, no tension in your body. If you're driving, of course, stay focused on the road. But I want you just to relax. I want you just to not hold on to anything right now, not judge yourself. So many of us are good at judging ourselves about not being perfect. Who's perfect in this world? We judge ourselves about our mistakes that we can no longer do anything about. And a lot of us, we become the moment. And what I mean by that is we become something that was just meant for a moment, a season that we went through. And instead of moving through it and moving past it like we're supposed to do on the journey, it becomes us. It becomes our identity. It becomes our life. We start to live as that mistake. We start to live as that shame. We start to live as that guilt. We start to live as that hurt. So today, my hope for you is that you let go. So I want to remind you once again, when I say breathe in full, you're going to breathe in from your belly, fill up your belly with air. And when you're breathing in, what do you need? I want you to picture that coming into your life, whatever it is that you need. When I tell you to hold for 8, hold, picture that peace, courage, strength, clarity, faith penetrating your body. And as we release, we're releasing what we don't need. Here we go. Protect your peace meditation. Inhale fully for a count of 4. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release fully. 2, 3, 4. Yes. In this moment right now, you're giving your soul and your life what it needs. You're bringing your soul back home. You're bringing your nervous system back to neutral. And you're starting your day off with one of the greatest protectors you can. You're starting your day off in a neutral state, an appreciative state, and a gratitude state. We're going to do this breath work 2 more times. And as you breathe in, it should sound like that. You should be breathing in full. And as you exhale, it should be like you're fogging up a mirror. Ready? Breathe in what you need. Breathe in full. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release fully because you're full of life. 2, 3, 4. Good. Remember, breath is the most important thing that we have. Without breath, we have no life. When you can control your breath, you can change your life. You can always come back to your breath in any moment. When you're feeling stressed, you can come back to your breath to calm your nervous system down. When you're feeling panic and anxiety, you can come back to your breath. And you can do this breath work. But a lot of us right now, we're holding on to things that we don't need to hold on to. What is it that you need to let go of, that you can't change or control? Maybe you're worried about tomorrow that hasn't come yet. No matter how much you prepare for the future, you can't control the future. Or maybe you're worried about the past that you can't change. We can't go back in the past. And when we do that, we take the power out of our hands to do something about the now. All you can do is be present in this moment. You can be present and taking action and making a choice in this moment, and then preparing for your next step, and hopefully taking that same action that's moving you forward. But a lot of you are holding on to things that you need to let go of. You're holding on to how people see you, how people view you. You're holding on to things that are done with, and we wonder why life feels heavy. You're trying to climb this mountain of life with a 1,000-pound weight on your soul, and you're wondering why you're tired. Life is already a hard climb by itself. So why carry unnecessary weight? There's some things that you need to leave behind. There's some things that don't serve your life anymore. And I know it's hard because our human mind wants us to worry. Our human mind wants us to live in fear. Our human mind wants us to always try to solve the problem. But you got to understand, there's certain problems that are only meant to be solved by moving forward with your life. So I want you to tell yourself right now that your future has better. Even if you don't know what your future is going to hold, even you don't know what's going to go on for the next day, the next week, because there's so much uncertainty in your life, how you can bring certainty in your soul is that you trust. You trust that your future has better. You trust that everything that's coming to your life is a gift. That person that left your life is a gift. That job that's not treating you right is a gift. That death in your family is a gift. And I know it seems hard to call those things gifts, but what if I told you everything that was breaking you down was really building you up? Everything that was trying to make you feel powerless is really strengthening your power, of course, with your permission. Everything that's trying to make you feel worthless, what if I told you it's really helping you understand your worth, of course, with your permission? So right now, as this sun is rising, we got to treat this day as it's new. We are no longer the same being we were last week. We were yesterday. It's a new day. And what the enemy wants us to do, the enemy wants us to hold on to things that don't do anything for our life anymore. That's why I always tell you, you're a choice away. Let's do this last breath work together as we start our day. I want you to really breathe in full with intentionality. Breathe in full for a count of 4. 2, 3, 4. Yes. Now hold that breath as it penetrates your soul, your body, your mind. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now release fully. 2, 3, 4. Yes. I want you to put your hand over your heart right now. If you can, I want you to press in lightly. And I want you to feel that heartbeat. The greatest gift that we've been given. And every time I go through stress, every time I go through uncertainty, every time I'm dealing with something that is overtaking my life, that's not good for my life, I always do this action. And it seems so simple, but it's so effective and powerful, is I put my hand over my heart. Because that heartbeat is the greatest gift that we've been given. And it reminds me that as long as this heart's still beating, God is not through with me yet. And I have to trust him even in the season of uncertainty. I have to trust him even when I don't understand. I have to trust even when it doesn't make sense. I got to trust that it's all working for my good. I got to trust that better is coming. And as long as I have this heartbeat, life is not over. And I want to tell you that no matter what you're dealing with, your life is not over. Maybe something is over, but your life is not over. Maybe that situation is over, but your life is not over. Maybe that beautiful thing is over, but you know what? There's more beautiful things coming to your life. Maybe that ending was painful, but you know what? That painful ending has the power to create a beautiful new beginning. But so many of us, we're so attached to things that define us. We're detached. We're attached to people. We're attached to titles, and we're attached to all these things that define us. And literally, when we already been defined, when our identity has already been given to us, we start to tie our identity in our life to things that we really can't control. And we allow those things to control us. One of my favorite quotes in this book, Protect Your Peace is something you will never experience if you keep allowing the things you can't control to control you. Peace is something you will never experience if you keep allowing the things you can't control to control you. And so in these mornings, what I love to do is practice detaching myself from the world, detaching myself from these identities, detaching myself from my worth, from things that I'm putting my worth in that my worth shouldn't be. You see, you've been given worth at birth. Can't nobody take that away. We only can give it away. What is your worth tied to? Tied to how people feel about you? Tied to how many followers you have? Is that not dangerous? Is that not putting your hands into things that didn't create you and allowing those things that didn't create you to control you? So I want you to detach from something today. Detach your worth. Take your worth back. Detach your value. You're not valuable because of your bank account. You're not valuable because of a title at your job. You're not valuable because of how people see you or how people treat you. You're valuable because of who you are. Simply because that's how you were created to be. And when you take your value back and put your value into something that's permanent instead of a temporary fleeting thing, you start to build your self-esteem. See, self-esteem, we mislabel all the time. We forget that it's called self-esteem, not other esteem, not world esteem. It's self. That means it comes from self. But oftentimes, our self-esteem is tied to things that are outside of ourselves. We allow all these external things to control how we feel about ourselves, all these external things outside of us to control how we feel about ourselves. And one of my favorite quotes that you probably heard me say is, never let how they feel about you change how you feel about yourself. Their opinion of you is none of your business. How they feel about you, their perception of you doesn't have to be your truth. And so you build your self-esteem by appreciating yourself. You build your self-esteem by loving yourself. You build your self-esteem by saying, listen, I'm not trying to be perfect. You build your self-esteem by practicing non-attachment and detaching yourself from all these things that are trying to control your life, that are pulling the strings on your self-worth. It's self-worth. And it's crazy how we allow our self-worth to be determined by outside things, but it's self-worth. It's how I feel about self. And my self-worth is tied in God. God created me a unique human being. Right? There's miracles inside of me. You're a miracle. You're not even supposed to be here. The odds of you being here are so astronomical that there are a lot of things in the world that have better odds than you actually being in this world. You're a gift to this world. But as long as you keep tying your self-worth to all these things that you can't change or control or do anything about, you'll never realize that truth. So today, this weekend, I really want you to protect your peace. And I want you to be unapologetic about it. Because you deserve to live in peace. You deserve to live in power. And you deserve to live your best life. Protect your energy from the things that drain it, my friend. Protect your mind from the things that disturb it, my friend. And protect your soul from the things that don't fulfill it. As we leave here today, I'll ask you this one question. What is your life going to mean? I want you to get clear on that. And I don't want you to be influenced by anything outside of you. I want you to make a decision and say, you know, my life is going to mean this. I don't care what anybody thinks, anybody says. This is the meaning I'm giving to life. Most of us have no meaning to life. We allow life to give us meanings. We allow status in society to give us meanings. We allow all these outside things to give us the meaning of our life. It's your life. You determine the meaning. The biggest disease that a lot of us have and deal with is the I'm not enough disease. I traveled across the world for 15 years and still traveling. I spoke to over millions of people. And the number one disease that we have in our soul is people feeling like they're not enough. And their enoughness is tied to things that aren't enough for them. Their enoughness is tied to things that they can't control. Their enoughness doesn't come from them not feeling like they're enough. It comes from them, from other people putting that lie up on their life and they believe it. And I've asked everybody this question. I talk about this in the book. So make sure you get the book. And if you want to sign a copy, all you got to do is type peace or go to shoprehabtime.com. But I talk about this in the book. I traveled across the world on a tour back in 2017. Some of you might have been at that tour. And I asked everybody this one question. And to my surprise, only 0.1% of people had an answer. I knew the number one disease was for people not feeling like they're enough. So I asked everybody, what's your definition of enough? And only 0.01% of people, that means one out of thousands and thousands and thousands, actually knew what their enough was. Because I asked the question is, if you're not enough, then what's enough? Nobody knew. And what happened is that they realized that they were retiring their enough to people. Oh, I'm enough if this person loves me. Or I'm enough if I have this amount of money. Or I am enough if people celebrate me, if people follow me, if people like my posts. I'm enough then. And I said, wow. What a mission impossible life of trying to find peace by living like that. And so many of us feel like we're not enough. And we're chasing a enough that doesn't even exist. Because there will never be enough in this world to make you truly love yourself. Because it's fleeting. You're enough because that's how you were created to be. You're enough because Jeremiah 1:5, God already set you apart. Is that not enough? You don't need nobody's validation of you when you've been validated. So I want you to think about that today as you move forward. Because that's how we cure that soul disease of I'm not enough. When you were created enough. You do realize that, right? And that's how you actually move forward, living life with confidence and power. Some of you ask, how do you have so much confidence? Because I realize there's nothing the world can provide me to make me feel better about myself. Of course, I'm a human. I have moments where I have more happiness and joy because, I'm tying my happiness and joy to things outside of me. Of course, I want to feel good by having people speak nice things into my life and things like that. I'm human. But I always reset my soul and say, hey, man, you're enough because on September 21st, 1984, you came into this world. You were a gift that was born into this world. You're enough. And it's allowed me to move with confidence. It's allowed me not to care about opinions. It's allowed me not to live a life full of trying to impress people, full of trying to make everybody else happy. So many of us, we're emotionally bankrupt. We have no soul wealth because we're living our life trying to impress everybody. We're losing ourselves trying to impress everybody. We're trying to be perfect for people that wouldn't even respect and accept and appreciate our perfection anyway. You're trying to be enough for people that you can't satisfy, for a world that will always find something wrong with you. There's no perfection you can provide to satisfy the external world. So why are we trying to live a life like that? Isn't that not draining? Isn't that not exhausting? Isn't that making you tired? And our soul becomes emotionally bankrupt. Right? We feel no joy. We feel no peace. And then why is life worth living? How we become soul wealthy is that we cut the strings in our life from all the things that's trying to control how we feel about ourselves. And we no longer become people pleasers. We no longer feel guilty for saying no. We no longer feel guilty for leaving things behind that don't serve our life. And we just live life to the best of our ability. We don't care about success and failure because those are definitions the world tries to put on us to make us feel a certain type of way. Right? We're already successful because we're here. You saw this morning. You're already beautiful because there's no one like you. And so we stop judging ourselves. And the more we stop judging ourselves, the more we appreciate our life. And the more we look like joy than we look like stress. The more we operate in calm instead of chaos. And even when the chaos around you tries to kill the calm inside you, it can't. Because you bulletproof your life with peace. You stop trying to be right. You stop trying to prove people wrong or right. And you just live your life. Your ego is minimized. The hunger to please people is starved. And you live your life free. That's what you deserve, my friend. Remember, today's a new beginning. Every time that sun rises, you're blessed to see another day. And don't judge that by your past days. Because some of us say, Trent, I'm not blessed because my life is going so wrong. And I'm telling you, that focus will tear your life apart. You're blessed to have a new beginning. It's a new beginning. A new beginning. Don't allow yesterday's troubles to turn into today's struggles. And as the sun sets every evening, you're blessed because you made it through another day. And I'm telling you, a day could change your life. How do I know? Because it did it for me. Don't undermine, don't underappreciate this gift. But as I always tell you, protect your peace, protect your mind, protect your soul, protect your energy, which ultimately helps you protect your life.